All right, so I try to give you like an order I would recommend going in. It doesn't mean you have to go in this order, but each of these, so if you could like get mentally prepared for a quiz, on Monday, the 2-2 section will have a big chunk one like this. That's got, I think it's like 4 parts to it, 6 points apiece. So overall, it's worth 24 points. So you want to make sure that you're careful with this stuff. But it's going to be identify the end behavior. It's going to be find the zeros with the multiplicity. It's going to be find the y-intercept, and then it's going to be the graph. So all together is one big question. So start with your end behavior. Remember that it may not always go in decreasing degree order. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that our exponents are in decreasing degree order. This time it is. It goes 3, then 2, then 1. So it's fine. So the highest exponent is even or odd? Odd, which tells you what about the end? Do they both go the same direction or opposites? Opposites. So then we go to the leading coefficient, and that 2 is positive, which tells you what about your end behavior? What happens on the left side? Rises or falls? Falls left, and on the right? Rises right. So if you want to write out left, right, you could do that. If you want to literally give me the L and the R, that's fine. If you wanted to do this and this, that's fine too. Any of those would get you full credit for that question. Then it says find the zeros. So I'm going to set my equation equal to 0. All right, so I get 2x to the third minus 4x squared minus 16. What can I factor? Well, first you want to check to see can you factor something out. We can, right? What can we factor out of here? A 2x. So if I take out the 2x, I get x squared minus 2x minus 8. And then I want to see if I can factor what's inside the parentheses. So I'm looking for the factors of negative 8 that sum to negative 2, which would be? Good. Negative 4, positive 2. If it wasn't factorable, only if it's quadratic can use the quadratic formula. Those roots might be yucky, but hopefully, like on your quiz, a question in which you had to do is either going to be factorable or you'll be able to use the even root to graph it. So then I would split and solve, and I get x equals 0, x equals 4, and x equals negative 2. What's the multiplicity on these? All of them are 1. So when I list my zeros, I'll do x equals negative 2, 0, and 4. And if you don't input the little 1, I'm assuming you meant it to be 1. If one of those had a multiplicity of 2, then I would expect to see a little 2. All right, then it says find the y-intercept. If you've got a 0, that is a 0. You already have the y-intercept, but let's say we didn't have that. Then I would say y equals 2, plug in 0 to each x, and I get y equals 0. So 0, 0 is your y-intercept. Now I go to my graph. So I've got negative 2, I've got 0, and I've got 4. And my arrow on the left points down, and my arrow on the right points up. And because the multiplicity of each of these zeros is 1, what does that tell you? It's going to cut through each of those points. So I'm going to come up, I'm going to come back down, and I'm going to come back up again. To figure out how low or how high to go, we're going to plot some extra points. So I'm going to plug in negative 1, and I'm going to plug in 2. Plug in negative 1. And I get, this would be negative 1, so negative 2. This becomes positive 1, minus 4, plus 16, negative 6 plus 16, which is 10. So negative 110 would be like all the way up here. Again, if it comes off your graph, just label it instead of having to extend it. Then it's going to come back down. I know it has crossed through that 0. And then I'm going to plug in 2. So 2 times 2 to the third minus 4 times 2 squared minus 16 times 2. 2 times 8 minus 4 times 4 minus 32. And I get negative 32. Not 0. Sorry, I plugged in 2. Again, all the way off my graph, I'm just going to plot it and label it. So unless it falls on a coordinate point, you're going to plot and label like we just did, okay? Yep.
How do you list the multiplicities if it wasn't just like 1?
So if it was 2, I literally put just a little 2 next to it and circle it like that. Or you could put in words with a multiplicity of 2.
Okay, I'll list the zeros.
When you list the zeros. Yeah, so it's going to say the zeros and multiplicity on the same line. Yep. Questions? All right, so let's finish 2, 2. Now we are flip-flopping all of this stuff. Now instead of getting an equation and getting information out of the equation, you're going to get the answers to the zeros and you're going to have to come up with the equation. So we're working backwards. So it'll say find the function with the given roots and then it'll list the roots. Like let's say it was 2 and -1. Then you write the equation by doing x minus whatever number they gave you. So it would have been x minus 2 and then x minus a -1. And it would be x minus 2 times x plus 1. So when we plug it in, the sign gets reversed. And then we FOIL it out. So I would literally do first, outer, inner, last, and combine my like terms. And set it equal to f of x because it's an equation. And that's what it's looking for. If there's 3 roots, then you're going to do it with 3 parentheses. 4 roots, you're going to do it with 4 parentheses. So put it behind x, change its sign, and FOIL it out. All right, so the first thing you want to do is put it behind x, change its sign. So it'd be x plus 1, x minus 3, x minus 4. And then you're going to multiply these out in pairs, and it doesn't matter which 2 you start with. Like if you want to make the habit of always starting with the first 2, that's fine. I would FOIL this out. I'd get x squared minus 3x plus x minus 3, which becomes x squared minus 2x minus 3. And then I'm going to multiply that times the third polynomial. I'm going to distribute the x squared to both. I'd get x to the third minus 4x squared. I'm going to distribute the -2 to both, negative 2x squared, positive 8x. And then I'm going to distribute the -3 to both, negative 3x, and positive 12. And then I get x to the third minus 6x squared plus 5x plus 12 equals f of x. How many of you got it right? Or at least on the right check? Good. Questions. I would say people make silly mistakes here with their signs or their exponents. Like, as ridiculous as it might feel, especially on your quiz or test, like, feel free to draw out. When I do your keys, I literally, like, map them so that we're really careful and make sure that you don't miss something or mess up your exponents. Okay, so now what happens if my roots include something irrational? So, like a square root, okay? First of all, these will always come in pairs because think about your polynomials. You don't have polynomials that have square roots in them, okay? So they will always come in pairs. If it's a binomial, which is in this case, then when I do x minus, you don't have to do this every time, but pay attention. It's minus 3 plus square root 2. And then it's x minus 3 minus square root 2. And that minus is going to go to both. So if you write it out the first time and you want to change both signs, that's fine. Just be really careful. What should happen is that your rational or irrational numbers, in this case those square root 2's, should have opposite signs because eventually we need them to cancel out. That's the idea behind it. And then literally go x times x, x squared. X times -3, minus 3x. X times square root 2, positive root 2x. Then I go with my -3. -3 times x. -3 times -3. -3 times positive root 2. -3 root 2. Then I go with my negative root 2. Negative root 2 times x. Negative root 2 times -3, so positive 3 root 2. And negative root 2 times positive root 2, which is negative root 4, right? Or just 2. So when you multiply the square root by itself, it's going to cancel out the square root. If you've done it, yep.
Is the x inside the square root?
No, the x is outside the square root. Good question. Yeah, and you want to make sure it stays that way. So if you've done that step correctly, then anything that has a square root should cancel out. So I've got positive root 2x and negative root 2x. They cancel out. I've got negative 3 root 2, positive 3 root 2. Those cancel out. Then I'm going to combine my like terms. So I've got an x squared minus 3x and minus 3x is minus 6x. Positive 9, negative 2, positive 7. And then I'd set that equal to f of x. Question so far? All right. Now you got like a little application on this. So what if it tells you in words what the zeros are in multiplicity? So it's like you got to interpret what information they're giving you, list out your roots, and then do what we just did. So it says find the polynomial function with leading coefficient 1, which means the very first thing once I FOIL this out should be whatever x squared or x to the third with nothing on front. And it has the given zeros, multiplicity, and degree. So the zeros are 3 with a multiplicity of 1. That means x equals just 3 once. Negative 2 with a multiplicity of 2. That tells me there's a negative 2 and another negative 2. And the degree is 3. If there are 3 zeros, my exponent's going to be x to the third. Okay? Especially if they're all real zeros. We haven't gotten to imaginary yet. We will, but not yet. So now I just put them behind x minus 3, x plus 2, x minus 2. X plus 2. Sorry, they should both be the same. And then because you can do them in any order, like you could do your square, like x plus 2 times x. What did I do wrong? Yeah.
What does it mean by degree? Is it just
Degree would be at the end. What's the highest exponent? Yep. So I could pick these two because that's a square, and I could use shortcuts, or I could just pick the first two, FOIL them out, x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 6, which is x squared minus x minus 6, and then bring down the x plus 2, x squared times x, x squared times x is x to the third, and then x squared times 2, so positive 2x squared. Then I go to the next one, negative x times x, so negative x squared, negative x times 2, negative 2x. And the last one, negative 6 times x, and negative 6 times 2, negative 12. Combine your like terms, x to the third plus x squared minus 8x minus 12. So the first two pieces of information they gave you were that your leading coefficient should be 1. And if we look, the one with the highest exponent, which is to the third, has a coefficient of 1. That's a check. You did that right. The other piece of information they gave you is that the degree is 3. So the degree is the highest exponent, and we have an x to the third. Questions? So on a question like this, if you had extra time, you could always work backwards, factor it, and find your roots and see that they match the question initially. So it's a way to check them.